let's talk setters and getters. Alright, so what are setters and getters? Well, setters and getters allow us to get variables as well as set them, and you might be thinking that we can do this already, and you would be right. We take a look at, say, a variable called speed. It's an integer, we're set it to 5 by default. We could just use speed, and we've gotten it, right? And we could even print that out. Right, we can come in here, we can print speed, go ahead, run our scene, and it'll print down in the console, the debug. The output, that's all fine and dandy, and we know that works. And you might be looking at it and being like, okay, well, we can also set it. We can just say speed equals 3. And now we've set it to something else. And this is also true. And for a lot of cases, just doing it like this will be perfectly fine. For a lot of cases. But there are going to be situations where you want to use and create these setters and getters. And one of the reasons for this is to check for errors. There could be various other reasons for this as well. For example, if we think about if we're playing a simple game like Pong or air hockey, a player scores, and then when that player scores, you then have to update the UI. So within all of that, you can then automatically emit a signal whenever that value is changed. And that's kind of how that would work with when we're looking at some of our UI nodes. We're looking at the built-in signals, and we see like value changed. Well, whenever that value gets changed and gets set to another value, it emits a signal with that new value. And that's kind of where getters and setters would come in for an instance like that. So let's take a look. Well, with our speed here, what we'd actually do is at the end of it, we actually put a colon, and we drop into the next line, which is actually indented. And this looks a little strange, but we can work with it. We type the word get, colon, drop down to the next line, which is another indentation level in. And when we get it, all we have to do is just do turn speed. That's all we have to do for the get. For a setter, we would write set. Inside of here, we have a value of some sort. You can call it value, you can call it v, you can call it whatever you want, doesn't matter. Just like a normal function, this can be anything you want to represent our new value. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the word value there, colon, and drop down. Again, indent in one more level. And this is where at basic level, we would just do speed equals value. So now we can come in we can say set speed as a string and pass in a value, say 31. And now if we come in and print out our speed, we'd be able to see down in the output that we're now getting 31 printed out because we've set the speed. And this is at base value the very basic setter and getter that you would set up. And if you curious on the get, let's go ahead and go like that. So we just pass in a string name for value, in this case speed, and if we were to go ahead and run that, see, we'd get the exact same result. So that's how the getter portion of that would work. Now, I mentioned earlier you could use this for something like error checking, which is a common use for this. But what if we accepted a speed value, but we didn't want we allowed the user to define and set this speed value? But what if we wanted to cap that out? Well, we might create a function for that, for setting that, or we'd create an if check. Oh, well, if it's higher than this, then we're just going to set our speed to this value instead. Otherwise, we're setting the speed to the value. And we could do something like that, but we can have that built right into our setter. So for example, we could say, we could just clamp it, right? And that'll take 3 arguments. First one is the value that's being passed in, and then a minimum value, which will say 0, and a maximum value, which will say 10. So now I'm passing in 31, and without me having to do anything, that's going to automatically be set to 10, because 10 is the maximum number that we allow in this. And if we were to go ahead and run that, you'd be able to see that in the output. No big deal. The output isn't a huge focus for this, but it is there if you really wanted to look at it. You could always just write this in yourself without an editor. But just trust me, it is changing to exactly what it is that here. So we can see our setting is working like that, and we've already added information in there, or we already have this working in a way that would save us some time with this when compared to writing out maybe multiple lines. Now, I mentioned earlier with like the game or something like Pong or air hockey where the score changes and our UI updates, and we have signals that automatically output or emitted when certain values are changed with some of our UI nodes by default. And to do something like that, what we would do is, of course, create our signal. And let's say we can just call this speed changed. It's fine. So now when we set our value, not only can we clamp it, but we can also have it automatically emit the signal wherever it is in here, speed changed, automatically. Whether our signal is connected or not, it can now automatically emit that signal whenever our speed is changed. So you can see if we're creating an object, for this, maybe enemy, for a game, or something inside of our UI for an application, we can see we can automatically have this set up so that we can easily use it almost like a plug and play, right? We can just import it into maybe another project, or we can keep the scripts, maybe upload it to the asset library for other people to use, and it'll just essentially just work. Now all we have to do is just connect the signal. Everything will be clamped, our signals will be sent out, whatever information will be passed with it, and you can start seeing the idea of how getters and setters can be a lot more useful, and how everything can be just set up right there inside of something setter. That way we don't have to come in and we say, oh, if the value is greater than 10, then we're going to set the value to 10, otherwise set speed equals value, and now we're going to emit the signal and pass in this piece of information, and maybe that's going to call a function that is maybe calls another function, and it really clears a lot of that up, especially if you're going to use that a lot. Then you're going to create a function for it so you're not repeating yourself, and now you have this pointless function that's doing this clamping or these checks and getting signals on, when you could have it all just built right into your setter. This so you can get an idea like this. So if this was like a score, we can then just connect the signal, and whenever our scores change, it'll automatically update everything. So for example, instead of emitting this signal, right? So as an example, I just come down here. Doesn't want to work with me, that's fine. Let's change this to score. Okay. Let's say current score here. We say plus equals a value. Yeah. And then instead of that, we can come in here and we can get maybe like our score text, right? Set the text property of that. The score, obviously, set this after you change the value. But see, you can set all this in there to happen automatically, and all you have to do is just set the score with its new value. So that's you can kind of get the idea of how getters and setters could be very useful when it comes to development here. But like I said at the beginning, sometimes it's not needed, it's not necessary, and just going with the standard speed equals this would be just fine for a lot of cases. And that'll be all with this video. Take care, have yourselves a good one. You got questions, leave them down below. Something you want to see, comment it down, and I'll see you in the next one.